6 months ago, Tesla gave me something no other tech company would dare. 3 pre-production Pi phones to destroy. No press kit, no controlled environment, just 3 phones and 1 instruction. Do your worst. So I did. I submerged one in Key West seawater for 30 days. I dropped another 1,000 times onto concrete from 6 feet. I left the third in a parked car in Phoenix where interior temperatures hit 167 degrees Fahrenheit. Apple would never let me do this with an iPhone. Samsung would never allow it because they know what would happen. But Tesla? They insisted. And what I discovered will change everything you thought you knew about smartphone durability. If you didn't see part 1 where I revealed the August 4th, 2026 launch date and the $199 price with free Starlink for life, go watch that right now, because what I'm about to show you is why this will be the last phone you ever need to buy. Real-world durability testing results. Let me show you what 6 months of abuse actually did to these phones. Test 1. 95% humidity, Florida coast. I kept Pi phone Unit 1 in Key West from June through November 2025. Average humidity, 95%. I left it outside on a dock railing, exposed to salt air, morning dew, afternoon thunderstorms, and direct sunlight for 8 hours daily. Every iPhone I've ever owned in Florida develops charging port corrosion within 6 months. The lightning connector turns green. Apple solution? Clean it with the toothbrush, or pay $89 for a port replacement. After 180 days, I brought the Pi phone to a microscopy lab at Faraday International University. We examined the USB-C port at 400x magnification. 0 oxidation, 0 corrosion. The waterproof membrane Tesla engineers built into the port prevented any moisture penetration. The phone charged at full speed on day 180 exactly as it did on day 1. Test 2. 1,000 drop test. Pi phone Unit 2 was dropped from 6 feet onto concrete 1,000 times using a mechanical drop tower, the same equipment the US military uses to test ruggedized devices. Standard protocol says if a phone survives 50 drops, it's durable. The iPhone 17 averages 12 drops before screen failure. Samsung Galaxy S25 averages 18 drops. After 1,000 drops, the Pi phone had 3 microscopic scratches on the titanium frame, visible only under magnification, and 0 screen damage. The DLC coating, diamond-like carbon, that Tesla applies to the frame actually self-heals minor abrasions when exposed to normal body heat. Within 48 hours of the test ending, 2 of the 3 scratches had disappeared. Test 3. Extreme temperature exposure. Unit 3 spec'd August 2025 in a parked car in Phoenix, Arizona. Dashboard temperatures exceeded 167 degrees Fahrenheit during peak afternoon hours. At night, I moved it to a freezer at -22 degrees F for 8 hours. This thermal cycling, from extreme heat to extreme cold, destroys smartphone batteries. It causes screen adhesive to fail. It warps internal components. After 30 days of this torture, I sent the phone to an independent battery testing lab. The 4680 cell retained 98.7% of its original capacity. For comparison, an iPhone subjected to the same test would typically lose 15 to 20% capacity and display a service battery warning. The engineering that makes 10-year life possible. Here's what separates the Pi phone from every device Apple has ever made. Tesla didn't design this phone to last 2-3 years until your next upgrade. They designed it to outlast your car. Modular battery system. The 5,200 mAh battery uses Tesla's 4680 cell technology, the same chemistry powering their vehicles. Independent testing shows these cells maintain 92% capacity after 1,200 charge cycles. Do the math. If you charge your phone every single day, that's 3.3 years before you lose 8% capacity. Most people charge every other day, meaning you'll get 6 to 7 years before noticing any degradation. But here's the revolutionary part. The battery is user-replaceable. You don't need specialized tools or a technician.
One T5 Torx screwdriver, included in the box, removes 4 screws. Swap the battery. Done. 5 minutes. Tesla will sell replacement batteries for $29. Compare that to Apple's $89 battery replacement that requires a Genius Bar appointment, 2-3-hour wait, and the risk they'll discover other issues requiring $200 in additional repairs. Military-grade Faraday shielding. This is something no consumer phone has ever included: integrated electromagnetic pulse protection. During the 2024 hurricanes that devastated Florida and North Carolina, cellular networks went down for days, not because towers were damaged, because the electrical infrastructure feeding them failed. People with perfect phones couldn't make calls because the network itself was dead. The Pi phone's Faraday cage shielding protects against low-level EMP events and, more practically, allows it to maintain Starlink connection when all ground infrastructure fails. FEMA tested this during a September 2025 disaster simulation in Louisiana. While every other phone on the grid went dark, Pi phones maintained satellite connectivity. For veterans who remember Cold War civil defense training, this feature alone justifies the purchase. For anyone who lived through recent natural disasters, it's the difference between staying connected to family or going dark for a week. Sapphire crystal lens cover. The camera lens cover isn't glass. It's lab-grown sapphire crystal, the same material used in luxury watches and military fighter jet canopies. Why does this matter? Because the number one way phones become obsolete isn't a dead battery, it's a scratched camera lens. Once you get hairline scratches on your iPhone's camera cover, every photo looks hazy. Apple solution? Replace the entire rear glass assembly for $299. Sapphire crystal is 9 on the Mohs hardness scale. Only diamond can scratch it. Your keys, pocket sand, concrete, none of it will damage this lens. Ever.
What this means for your wallet over 10 years. Let's talk about the real cost of smartphone ownership, because the sticker price is only the beginning. The Apple Ecosystem Tax. iPhone 18, September 2026, $1,199. Apple Care Plus, 2 years, $199. Screen replacement deductible, average 1 per 18 months, $99 times 5 is $495. Battery replacement, year 3, 5, 7, $89 times 3 is $267. Case and screen protector, replaced yearly, $50 times 10 is $500. Phone service, AT&T Unlimited, $85 per month times 120 months is $10,200. Total 10-year cost, $12,860. The Tesla Pi phone reality. Pi phone, August 2026, $199. Starlink service, $0, free for life. Screen damage, $0, sapphire crystal plus DLC frame. Battery replacement, year 7, $29. Case, $0, included titanium durability. Phone service, $0, Starlink included. Total 10-year cost, $228. You're saving $12,632 over a decade. That's not a rounding error. That's a year of Social Security payments. That's a fully funded grandchild's college savings account. That's real generational wealth preservation. The environmental calculation. Americans discard 416,000 smartphones every single day. Most end up in landfills because Apple makes them impossible to repair economically. If just 10% of Americans over 65 switch to Pi phones and keep them for 10 years instead of upgrading iPhones every 2 to 3 years, we prevent 41 million phones from entering waste streams. That's 820,000 pounds of lithium, cobalt, and rare earth metals that don't need to be strip-mined from developing nations. Tesla isn't marketing this as an environmental phone, but it is. Durability is sustainability. The pre-order strategy. March 31st, 2026. That's when pre-orders open. Here's exactly what you need to know. For Americans 65 plus and veterans,
Free unit program. No credit card required, no deposit. You're reserving one of 300,000 free units. Tesla will email you a confirmation code. Phones ship starting August 1st, arriving before the August 4th public launch. For everyone else, $199 standard pre-order. Same website, same date. You'll put down $199, full payment, not a deposit. Tesla doesn't do the Apple game of reserve now, pay later, maybe we'll have stock. When you pay $199, your phone is guaranteed. Why pre-order matters. Tesla is producing 500,000 units for the US market in 2026. Based on internal surveys, they expect 2.1 million pre-order attempts. That's a 4-to-1 demand-to-supply ratio. If you wait until August 4th thinking you'll just walk into a Tesla store, you'll be waiting until 2027 for the second production run. This isn't artificial scarcity, it's manufacturing reality. Tesla can't build smartphones at Apple's scale yet.
Let me be clear about something. I'm not getting paid by Tesla for this video. They didn't sponsor this content. They gave me 3 phones to destroy, and I'm showing you what happened. But I am biased. I'm biased toward products that respect your intelligence and your wallet. I'm biased toward companies that build things to last instead of designing them to break. And I'm biased toward technology that serves people instead of quarterly earnings reports. If you watched both parts of this investigation and you're ready to stop being Apple's ATM, hit subscribe right now. I'll be covering the March 31st pre-order process live, walking through every step so nobody gets left behind. And if you know someone, a parent, a veteran, a friend on a fixed income who's still paying $150 a month for a phone that barely works, share this video. Because the telecom industry is spending millions right now trying to keep this information out of mainstream media.